fight. And after those 3 minutes, in all likelihood, Bernard Hopkins will have his 20th successful title defense. XX. The execution.
XX and on to the next.
Good job so far. Walk this walk. Hold out for me, baby. Deep breath, deep breath, deep breath. Deep breath, slow. Come on, baby. Slow. That's how you. Let the man fight. Come on. The jab. All right. Don't wait for him. One sec, let me read something. Don't wait for him. Come on, son. Come on. This is what you're here for, this title. Let's go out and take it. Come on. Let's take this guy out in this round. Double jab. All right. All you want to do is run forward. Put a good stick in that chest, man. And do it to X Factor.
People who haven't seen Hopkins before may be wondering, well, why is he so great? He doesn't have the kind of sensational style we sometimes equate with greatness. I just think of him more like a Don Sutton, who won about 15 or 16 games a year for over 20 years and got into the Hall of Fame, rather than a Bob Gibson or a Sandy Koufax, who had great years.
And I'll tell you, just call him a pure professional.
Get off his head, let's go.
It's a skill to fighting. It's a professionalism to fighting.
And there's a lot to be said for longevity when it's conducted on this high level.
Yep.
Well, and frankly, if you eliminate the crowd-pleasing element, it becomes easier to win all your fights. If you're that good. And he's eliminated the crowd-pleasing element.
Well, you know, but you're a champion. Every fighter that comes to fight you presumably is going to be 105 or 110%. You've got to be ready every single time, and he is.
Oh, what a great left hook. Bernard Hopkins in the last 4 or 5 rounds has thrown some of the best left hooks and right crosses we've seen in the last few years, and that's the professionalism that Roy Jones is talking about.
Yep.
Don't hold his head down in here. Let's go, break. There we go.
The knockout of De La Hoya came against a smaller man fighting out of his weight class at 160. Eastman's a legitimate middleweight. Hopkins has taken his time in the fight, waited for Eastman to string himself out just a little bit, began to hammer him with power shots, particularly as counterpunches in the middle rounds, and then in the late rounds has done just about whatever he wanted to do.
Watch your heads, let's go. Watch your heads, both of you. Stop, no punching. Big step back, here we go.
1 minute to go.
Eastman has made an effort. He's given his best. Just doesn't appear to be good enough against a great old club.
But he did try hard. He gave it an honest effort. He wasn't afraid. He came in and gave the fans what they paid to see tonight. And you got to take your head off to him for that. Just outclassed.
As have been so many other opponents over the years. Hopkins seemingly on the way to his 46th victory in 49 fights. He lost his first fight. Roy pointed out to me that it was in the cruiserweight division, whereas a totally inexperienced fledgling professional fighter, he was matched against a guy he couldn't handle. The fighter's name was Clinton Mitchell. Then in 1993, he lost a showdown with Roy Jones in Washington, D.C., and that is the last time Bernard Hopkins lost a fight. And I don't think it happened tonight either. Harold, what's your opinion? Final scorecard.
Jim, 117, 111, Bernard Hopkins. Jim, he won everything from the 6th round on. I mean, he won 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 by letting Howard Eastman come to him and just whack him with either a solid right hand or a great left hook, just as Roy Jones Jr. has been telling us all night. Bernard Hopkins fought a beautiful fight. The one thing I got to say about Howard Eastman is he's got a great jaw, but that doesn't win fights.
He's 40 years old and continues to be a marvel. No signs of deterioration. At least not tonight. So, Roy, you fought him once. The two of you dickered over and over to try to put together a second fight and never could make a deal that both of you liked.
Right.
But you're friends with Bernard Hopkins, aren't you?
Most definitely. Have the utmost respect, taught him a lot about the game. He learned a lot from me, even though I was the younger of the two. He still learned a lot about the way I did business, which is why he was able to maintain, hold on for so long, and finally get his just due. And believe it or not, back when I fought Richard Hall, I told him the way for him to go was to go to the Oscar De La Hoyas and the Felix Trinidads because they could not beat him. He took my word, and look where he is today.
Tremendous. Bernard Hopkins. Let's go to Michael Buffer to see if Hopkins has won for the 46th time.
Ladies and gentlemen, here at Staples Center, Los Angeles, we go to the scorecards. Lou Filippo scores the contest, 119, 110. Daniel Vanderveer, 117, 111. Ken Morita, 116, 112. All to the winner by unanimous decision. And still undisputed middleweight champion of the world, Bernard, the Executioner Hopkins.
Only the second loss of Howard Eastman's career. He's fought twice in the United States. He's lost twice. He'll go back to England and win a few more fights there, probably. And Hopkins, who holds all the belts in the middleweight division, can put any belt he wants around his neck or his waist. Here are the final CompuBox numbers. Hopkins landing 148, 66 more punches than Eastman landed, even though he threw 253 fewer punches. Thus, the dramatic difference in connect percentage. Hopkins landing 43% of his punches, and Eastman only 13%. In the jab category, it was even more one-sided, as Hopkins landed more than twice as many jabs while throwing about a third as many. If you look at those numbers, the word which comes to mind is the one that Roy Jones used all evening: economical or efficient. That's what Hopkins is.
That's exactly what he is. He's efficient, he's consistent, he's the best you are ever going to see at those two things.
And let's go to Larry Merchant, who stands by with his buddy Bernard.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Jim. Congratulations.